All right, so today we have a clip here of Ben Shapiro running away like the little baby that he is when he gets confronted by someone from Code Pink. If you're not familiar with Code Pink, I definitely recommend you check them out. They are really, really great activists. Someone from Code Pink when he was in Congress at a hearing for I don't even know what. It doesn't even really matter. But here is Ben Shapiro running away after being confronted for, I mean, almost every single thing that is horrible about Ben Shapiro. Running away, not saying anything. This is what Ben Shapiro does best. Here it is.
How does it feel for you to poison the American public and what you've been perpetuating? Racism, white supremacy, and the genocide that is being carried out on the Palestinian people.
Also, we're going to run it back. I know, look, you guys already know. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to rewind it. So if you're going to go down in the comments and bitch at me, just fuck off. I'm not even going to read it. Just don't even try. I mean, he's so much of a pussy that, I mean, he literally has to hide behind security. I mean, he can't even face this person, this individual, face to face. He's so scared about being confronted about his, not only his genocidal rhetoric, but just his horrible rhetoric in general. He's so afraid of being confronted about it that he has to hide behind not one, but two different gentlemen here. He has to hide behind two different people. And even when he goes up to talk, he's still cowering behind these individuals. Ben Shapiro's a pussy. We knew that, but it's fun. It's just, I love seeing it, you know? I love seeing it displayed on a daily basis.
Feels for you to poison the American public and what you've been perpetuating. Racism, white supremacy, and the genocide that is being carried out on the Palestinian people.
How does it feel to stand for Hamas?
See, right there, he lost. And there's been a bunch of Ben Shapiro fans that have been saying he won this exchange. This exchange is slowly starting to go viral. This is over a day old. And it's getting more traction now today than it was yesterday when it was posted. But, I mean, he literally just lost the exchange right there. Because he's asked about the Palestinian people. Let's just double check here. Literally, at least we know of 38,000 Palestinians have been killed. 16,000 children. And a recent Lancet study says that it could be up to 186,000 Palestinians fucking murdered by the terrorist group that is the IDF. But he doesn't respond to that. He doesn't even address it. Because addressing that, again, would, you know, prove Ben Shapiro wrong, but he lost this exchange right there.
Out on the Palestinian people.
How does it feel to stand for Hamas? Does that feel good to you? Do you feel good standing in solidarity with a terrorist group that has murdered 1,200 Jews?
I feel very good standing in solidarity with Palestinian people.
And keeps people in tunnels. Murdered 1,200 Jews. Yeah. Yeah. You know, he's right. You know, Hamas, they murdered 1,200 Jews. The IDF has killed just since October 7th. Since October 7th alone. We're not talking about all of the years prior. We're talking about just since October 7th, okay? Excuse me. 30, at the very least, 38,000. If Ben Shapiro wants to play the numbers game, let's play the numbers game, if that's really what you want to do.
Who have been murdered by Israel, by U.S. paid tax dollars and bonds, and you have continued to spew hate.
Hamas should not start a war on behalf of its citizens and then shoot its own citizens, and you stand for it.
Hamas, okay, number one, that literally has been debunked so many times by the IDF. That is a straight IDF talking point, that Hamas shoots its own citizens. It's actually the IDF that shoots its own citizens. Ben Shapiro will never admit that. He will never, ever say that, but that is the honest-to-God truth. And, you know, he says Hamas should not have started a war on behalf of its own citizens and then shoot its own citizens. But the thing about it is, like, Ben, he'll never admit this. But, like, you know, why does he think a group like Hamas even exists in the first place, right? Why does he think a group like Hamas was created? A group like Hamas was created and exists because of the Israeli occupation, because of the Israeli apartheid regime, okay? And none of the fucking pro-Palestinian people are sitting there shouting and saying, I'm so glad Jews got murdered. Nobody's saying that in this movement. And if you think that being pro-Palestine, saying you support the Palestinian people, and thinking the IDF is a terrorist group, if you think that that is, you know, bad or you support terrorism or whatever, you're just a fucking idiot. There's no getting around that fact. If you believe that, you are an actual fucking idiot. And Ben Shapiro is one of those fucking idiots.
Stand for it makes you a disgrace
The people
to human
in
dignity and
Palestine
human
have been
rights.
occupied for
And then he walks away. He walks away. You want to know why he walked away? After completely over-talking her and not responding to a goddamn thing? Because this person knows their shit. And what does Ben Shapiro do? Especially after the BBC interview with, oh my god, I don't even remember who it was. I can't remember the anchor's name. In 2019, Ben Shapiro did a BBC interview that was so horrendous, so bad. He got pressed so hard. It wasn't even that hard. He got pressed a little bit by a BBC anchor, and he got so fucking destroyed and embarrassed that he actually walked off of the interview, even though he was sitting in his own studio, his own Daily Wire studio. It was a remote interview. He got up and walked away from the interview because he got destroyed so bad, and he knew it was a train wreck, and he knew how shitty it was. And this is just a repeat of that. 5 years later. 5 years later, Ben Shapiro hasn't changed. He's still a pussy. The only people he's willing to debate are students that are first, second-year college students. And even then, even when he does these events at, like, Oxford or wherever he's at, he gets destroyed by these college students. And that's not to, like, say, like, if you're in college, like, you know, you can't debate Ben Shapiro. You're not smart or anything. I mean, there's a reason he walked away so fast, just yapped the entire time, didn't respond to anything, and then walked away. It's because he knows he was getting destroyed. He got fucked. He lost. If you think he won this exchange,
and you stand for it makes you a disgrace
The
to
people
human
in
dignity and
Palestine
human
have been
rights.
occupied for 75 years. And the blood is on the hands of every person in this Congress and every person who watches your propaganda of hate, white supremacy, and racism. You have been poisoning the American public for them to also...
I couldn't catch what he said there, and it's not captioned. The audio in the clip's already bad because they're in a huge room and there's a really bad echo. But I think he said that Hamas has refused a ceasefire. I'm not 100%. I watched it a couple of times. I couldn't catch it. But that's actually, again, not true. It's the IDF that has constantly refused ceasefire.
White supremacy and racism. You have been poisoning the American public for them to also be complicit in what is going on in Palestine. Shame on you and shame on every one of you who have invited them into this building.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely right. Could not have worded that any better myself. This was posted right here by Medea Benjamin. I am so sorry if I mispronounced that. A member of Code Pink. Again, I've played, I think, at least one Code Pink clip here. They went on Jimmy Kimmel when Kamala Harris was on, and were protesting there. That's just one example. Code Pink are really, really good. They're extremely effective in their activism when it comes to pro-Palestinian rhetoric. I definitely recommend you guys go and check them out. They have some really awesome, really, 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 really good exchanges with some of these evil motherfuckers like Ben Shapiro. That being said, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I know I was kind of all over the place, just trying to have some fun with this one, you know, watch Ben Shapiro squirm and run away like the little pussy that he is. That's going to be it for the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press the little bell, turn on notifications so you guys never miss an upload.